Bray Wyatt, aka Windham Rotunda, has passed away at the age of 36. It's announced about an hour ago by his father and Mike Rotunda. And yeah, this is a shocker, guys. I mean, it's in what's already been a pretty rough week uh, with the passing of Terry Funk. This comes as a shocker. Yeah, Courtney. Yeah, this was like this came out of nowhere. Um, so just a quick recap on Bray Wyatt, aka uh, Wyndham Rotunda. Yeah, 100%, man. This is like I said, this has been a rough week. This has been a rough week, Big Daddy. Um, but Bray Wyatt, is the son of Mike Rotunda, uh, the brother of Bo Dallas, aka Taylor Rotunda. Um, comes from a very storied back family line. His uncles Barry and Kendall Windham, grandfather Blackjack Mulligan. He's a third generation wrestler, and he was a big thing for a very long time. Yeah, exactly. This just came out of freaking nowhere, man. Especially with considering, like I said, I'm going to go over this real quick, but the news that we got recently that he was planning on making an in-ring return. So, yeah, he got his start in Florida Championship Wrestling. He wrestled down there with his brother. Joined WWE. Was mainly remembered as a member of Nexus as Husky Harris. He left, then came back and rejoined the main roster in 2013 as the head of the Wyatt family, alongside Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee, who we just mentioned, who also died tragically on December in 2020. Bray Wyatt was a 3-time world champion, 2-time world tag team champion. He left. He had his work on the main roster was kind of sporadic, but he came back in 2019, created the new persona of the Fiend. Was released by WWE in 2021. Made his return last year in October 2022, and then just very quickly disappeared again back in February. From what we now know, there was a lot of speculation as to what happened. We know that he was battling an undisclosed illness that was stated as both career and life-threatening. But there was recently he had apparently made a turn for the better, and was thought to be on the road to recovery, and was actually, like we said, was supposed to make it, and it was actually supposed to happen fairly soon, within the next few months. Was going to make an in-ring return, and then today, just this gut punch just came out of nowhere. And yeah, Dylan, hopefully SmackDown does something from tomorrow. Hope Bo Dallas is in a good place. Right now, man, I think, like right now, like I said, we don't really know what's going on. We have so few details on it. Like we don't even know what illness that he was fighting. But yeah, like hopefully, hopefully the families, they're leaning on each other, and people are sending them good wishes and positive thoughts and prayers, man. This is rough. He was 36 years old. My God, that's young. That's crazy young, man. But yeah, it's hard to even know what words to say about this. Like I said, we were all wondering what was going on with him for since he disappeared. He only had one match when he came back in October, and then February he just disappears. Everybody's assuming, is he injured? Is he, is something going on? There was talk that he was taking time to work on a movie, etc., etc., etc. All these rumors, and then it started coming out recently that he had been ill and he'd been fighting a life-threatening illness, but had, like I said, made a turn for the better. Was well on his way to on the road to recovery. and was actually planning on making his in-ring return very soon. And then this just like an hour ago, and yeah, this is and this, like I said, this has been a rough week, man. Terry Funk, I love Terry Funk, man. I grew up watching that guy, and but the thing about Bray that's it's another element of the tragedy of it is that he was such a creative guy, you know. Um, in my opinion, in the opinion of a lot of people, he was one of the most creative people to come out in professional wrestling in years, decades, even. Um, yeah, and that's the thing, like I said, Johnny. All we can do right now is support him. Think about the good memories we have of him, the creativity that he showed, and just try to be respectful for the family because right now, because this is as shocking as this is for us. It's going to be absolutely devastating for them. So all the like I said, all the thoughts and prayers go out to his family, um, his father, Mike Rotunda, like his brother, like I said, his brother, um, and his uncles, and everybody. His fiance, Josanne Offerman, aka JoJo. Um, I don't think they were married yet. I think they were just together. So, but Big Daddy, I was fortunate enough to be able to work with Terry Funk, but unfortunately never met Bray. Well, he was like again, he was so young, and he had an in track to he shut up. He went to like I said, he cut his teeth in Florida, and then moved on to NXT, and yeah, that's another thing too. He had a kid recently as well. So God, it's this is just one of those things where, like I said, this is a gut punch. And as far as the movie's concerned, I'm not sure what's going on with the movie. Like movies can end up in development hell. Like it could be done, shot, sitting on a shelf for years. But like I said, he made his return. Like I said, just an incredibly creative guy. When they let the guy come up with things and just work, he created some of the most interesting things in the world. Unfortunately, um, Vince wasn't quite on board with him, and was famously came out and said he didn't get the gimmick, he didn't get where he's coming from, which that's a commonplace thing among creative people, and unfortunately we were never going to be able to see him what his plans were. Dylan said, to put into perspective, he was 25 years old when he debuted the Wyatt family. He was way ahead of his time. Did you ever see Bray Wyatt wrestle live? Yes. It was, oh my God. That was back in like 2018. 2018. Yeah, it was before it was when it was when the Wyatt family was still, the Wyatt family. He hadn't debuted the Fiend yet. He hadn't done the split personality thing. But again, he was a creative guy. He was a very creative guy. But yeah, I saw him back when he was doing that stuff with it was when he was hooked up with Daniel Bryan with Bryan Danielson. And but unfortunately that was it. It was just one time. But he was definitely an interesting guy. And yeah, I'm like struggling to just even kind of compact down this situation because he was I was really looking forward to seeing what he could do when he came back. And unfortunately, um yeah, he was really young when he debuted as Husky Harris. I think that was in when did he Well, he went to the main roster as the head of the Wyatt family in 2013. So that was 10 years ago. And I think he was Husky Harris. That was like in 2008, 2009, maybe. So he was really young. He was super, super young when he was part of Nexus. But yeah, I just like this was one of those things. Like I said, I almost did something with Terry Funk, but at the time I was like, you know what, I'll just save it for next week and talk about it at length. Because these things are better to talk about when you got people with them. But man, this happened. I was like, I gotta come on and say something. But and I'm gonna keep it pretty short here, guys. I'm not looking to be on here for a long time. But I think we're all pretty much in shock here, and there really isn't a lot of details. We don't know what the illness he was suffering from was. We don't know the situation of what happened. What caused the relapse, if it was the relapse, in fact, or if it was something else like a complication or something like that. But yeah, just trying to trying to unpack the whole thing and just put a little bit out there for like what we're all thinking right now. And like I said, all the thoughts and prayers to his family. His father and his brother have got to be devastated, absolutely devastated. But yeah, Jim Marianne, it's crazy. It's insane. It's hot. What the hell, dude? Come on, that's not cool, dude. Yeah. Yeah, don't be coming on making jokes about this shit, dude. That's not cool. But anyway, but yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, dude, there's some people just want to watch the world burn, man. But yeah, like we'll talk more at length about it on Tuesday. But yeah, this one was a shocker, man, and I'm just praying to God that nothing else happens between now and then. But we'll be talking about both of them. We'll be talking about Terry. We'll be talking about Windham, his family, and then the legacy, man. Because like I said, he's a third generation guy. He comes from an amazing wrestling family. But I'm going to end it there, guys. You know, Bray Wyatt, Windham Rotunda, passed away at the age of 36.